Hello and welcome back to Kim Reads as we continue with changes for Felicity. Chapter 4 Into the Valley. Grandfather's burial was to take place at his plantation on the York River, a few hours' ride from Williamsburg. Mother and the children rode together in the carriage. Father rode on horseback. Marcus drove the cart that carried grandfather's coffin. The roads were muddy and so deeply rutted that the carriage jolted and swayed. Felicity hardly noticed. She felt numb, as if all her life had died too. As they rode up to Grandfather's plantation, Felicity looked at the dreary landscape. When she had last seen the plantation at the end of the summer, it was alive with color. Now the pastures were brown, the trees inky black, and the river a cold, dark silver. Her first view of the river seemed to make Felicity's spirits soar. Today she felt no joy. Grandfather was buried on a windy bluff above the river. Felicity set her jaw and would not allow herself to cry as she listened to the minister read the end of the psalm she had read to Grandfather. Yeah, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. The words did not comfort her. Felicity was angry at the world and angry at the God who had taken her grandfather away from her. She was fearful too. Nothing seemed safe anymore. How could she trust for such a world where such horrible things as death happened? How could she feel safe when Grandfather was not there to protect her, understand her, and love her? She was glad the blustery wind blew the minister's words away. After supper, the children went to bed. Felicity wasn't sleepy. She sat by the window watching the gray sky turn black. Felicity, she heard Mother say. She turned. Mother stood behind her, holding a small trunk. This was in Grandfather's chamber. He meant to give it to you on your birthday. I think you should have it now. She put the trunk on the floor and Felicity knelt open. She lifted out a riding habit made of deep green wool, the color of forest pines. At the sight of it, all the tears that Felicity had been holding back burst forth. Oh, Grandfather, Felicity thought, you and I will never ride together again. I will never be able to thank you for this, or laugh with you, or hug you again. Felicity buried her face in her arms and sobbed. Mother knelt beside her and put her arms around Felicity. It makes me so sad, gasped Felicity, when I think of riding with Grandfather. Aye, said her mother, memories can make your heart ache with sorrow, but it's good to remember happy times with your grandfather. Indeed, as long as you remember him, he won't truly be gone from you. But he is gone, said Felicity passionately. Oh, I wish I could go back. I want to go back to the summer when Grandfather was well and we were all happy together. I understand, said Mother. She looked out the window. The plantation is where I grew up, she said. Sometimes when I'm here, I ask myself, would I go back and be a child, be with my mother and father again if I could? Those were lovely days. She paused and then said, but then I think, how could I live without my sweet Lissy and Nan and William and Polly? How could I be happy without my dear husband? No, as much as I miss my mother and now my father, I wouldn't go back, even if I could. That's how it should be. We're meant to grow and learn and change. No, said Felicity. I hate changes. No changes are bad, said Mrs. Merriman. Think about how we've changed in the past year. You're not the flighty, headstrong child you used to be. You're steady and thoughtful, even if you are still somewhat impatient. And think of all the happy changes you have to look forward to. You'll see Elizabeth again. You'll see Polly learn to walk and talk and become a little person. You'll see Penny's full newborn and grow up. She brushed the tears from Felicity's cheek. Face those changes with faith and hope, my child, not fear. How can I hope for anything when Grandfather is dead? Asked Felicity. Death is the end of everything. No, said Mother. No change, no loss, no separation, not even death can end love. She kissed Felicity's flushed forehead and laughed. Felicity cried until she felt hollow. After a long while, she fell asleep. Mother and the children went home a few days after Grandfather's burial. As the carriage lurched along the road to Williamsburg, William asked, Mother, why isn't Father coming home too? Your father and Marcus stayed at the plantation to put Grandfather's business affairs in order, said Mother. They'll be home soon. William looked as if he might cry. But I don't want Father gone, he said. I want him to be home with us. Felicity felt sorry for William. He's probably afraid Father will go away forever, like Grandfather, she thought. Don't worry, William, she said. Father will be home before you know it. And meanwhile, Mother and I will look after you, and you and Nan must help us look after baby Polly. William brightened, and Mother smiled at Felicity gratefully. Ben was at the front door of the house to greet them as the carriage pulled up. He helped Mrs. Marion step down. Thank you, Ben, she said. Mr. Marion and Marcus will be gone for 2 weeks. Will you take care of the store in their absence? Yes, ma'am, said Ben. Good lad, said Mrs. Merriman. She turned to Felicity. I'm sure Ben could use an extra pair of hands today, Lissy. She said, would you like to help him in the store? Yes, said Felicity. Yes, I would. Off you go then, said Mother. She knew that no place was more likely to cheer Felicity up than her father's store. And indeed, the store was so bustling all afternoon. Felicity was too busy to be sad. She and Ben walked home together in the twilight after the closed shop. Thank you for your help, said Ben. You knew just what to do today. You were a good apprentice today. Felicity just nodded. Ben looked at her. Lissy, he said, I know you are very sad about your grandfather. I'm sorry, too. He was a fine old gentleman. No one can replace him. They walked on, and then Ben said, You've helped me when I was hurt and unhappy this summer. I wish I could help you. Felicity smiled for the first time in a long time. Thank you, Ben, she said. You are a kind friend. Over the next few days, the air seemed to soften and seemed to carry hints that spring was coming. Sorrow overcame Felicity whenever she thought about Grandfather. There were reminders of him everywhere. Whenever she heard music or whenever she played guitar he had given her, Felicity thought of her grandfather's gravely voice singing along happily out of tune. Whenever she cared for Penny, she remembered the day Grandfather had told her she could bring Penny back to Williamsburg with her. Whenever she held Polly, she thought of how Grandfather said, Nothing is happier than a new life starting. Nothing is sweeter than a baby. She was thinking of Grandfather one afternoon as she worked in her garden, pulling away dead leaves to prepare the ground for spring planting. Just as he had taught her, Lizzie looked up and saw Elizabeth running toward her, her familiar blue cloak flying behind her as she can. Felicity! gasped Elizabeth. I'm so glad to see you. Felicity hugged her friend. I'm so glad to see you, too. Elizabeth's eyes filled with tears. When I heard about your grandfather die, my heart ached for you, she said, and Mother felt so sorry. She never thanked him for getting Father released from jail. You must be happy to have your father home now, said Felicity. Aye, said Elizabeth. He will come home for a while, but he had to promise to leave the colony. He's going to New York. It's safer for loyalists there. New York! Exclaimed Felicity. Oh, no. And Elizabeth, you're not going to leave, are you? No, said Elizabeth. Mother and Annabelle and I will stay here to look after our property. Aye, said Elizabeth. You'll miss your father terribly, won't you? I will, said Elizabeth. At least I know he'll be safe and not in that awful jail. She sighed. Mother and Annabelle and I will have to take care of ourselves. Things are different now. Many things have changed. Aye, said Felicity sadly. Everything has changed. I know one thing that's not changed, said Elizabeth. You're still my best friend. The girls smiled at each other. I thought about you every day, said Elizabeth. I wonder what you were doing. Did you ever go to jail? Yes, said Felicity. I left a blanket and some medicine by the door. I wonder if Mr. Nye got them, said Elizabeth. I wonder if he's better now, or if he... Felicity had been wondering the very same things. Perhaps we could go to the jail, she said. Perhaps we can go ask Mr. Pelham about Mr. Nye. Yes, said Elizabeth. Let's go home now. Mr. Pelham's smile was wide when he saw the girls at the front door of his house. Good day, young ladies, he said. What are you delivering today? Mr. Pelham, said Felicity. We came to ask about someone. We were wondering, how is Mr. Nye? He's not here, said Mr. Pelham happily. He paid his debt. He's gone. But he was so ill, said Felicity, and he had no money nor friends. Bless my soul, said Mr. Pelham. It turns out that Jiggy and I did have friends. Soon after you two young ladies came to the door for the curry council, the most curious things happened. I found a basket outside this very door with a blanket and some medicine in it for Jiggy and I. I never did see who left it. We looked at Felicity and Elizabeth. Was it the two of you together? No, said Elizabeth in her sweet voice. It was not the two of us together. Mr. Pelham went on. Well then, the most curious thing happened a few days later. Along came an old gentleman. His health was poor, but his spirit was strong. He came to the jail to see the other gentleman, the loyalist, Mr. Cole. After he spoke to Mr. Cole, he asked to see Jiggy and I. Felicity and Elizabeth were looking at each other in amazement. They knew Mr. Pelham was talking about grandfather. I told the old gentleman that Mr. and I was too ill to talk, said Mr. Pelham. He left me money and told Jiggy and I that he owed him money for a horse. He said something about a penny, but he left me more money than that. When Mr. Nye was better, I gave them money. He understood the old gentleman's message, even if I didn't. Mr. Nye used the money to pay off most of his debt. He's working for me, carrying my horses to pay off the rest of it. He's a good man with animals when he's not drinking, and I think from now on he'll stay away from the bottle. Mr. Pelham smiled again. That blanket of medicine did more than cure Jiggy and I of his illness. It seemed to cure him of his meanness, too. I always thought there was still some goodness left in old Jiggy and I was right. Just need some kindness of friends to bring it out. Felicity's heart was too full of joy for her to speak. Grandfather had given Mr. Nye money for a penny. Grandfather had fixed everything. Thanks to his kindness, she needn't fear Mr. Nye or what he might do to Penny or her fall. Thank you, Grandfather, she thought. Oh, thank you. And that's the end of that chapter. See you later.